welcome to the Phoenix Zone and all things Cayman. I'm Phoenix Singh, and I'm here at the finals of the Cayman Islands Classic. Behind me is the Utah State taking on the Stephen F. Austin. I'm very excited for my very first sporting game coverage, and I'm very grateful that I got to cover the live broadcast for Radio Cayman.
And I'm here with Coach Voot, the president of Cayman Sports Limited, and also one of my basketball coaches. I better be careful in this interview because I don't want to do any extra laps. So, what inspired you to create Cayman Islands Classic?
Okay, one of the things that we recognize in the Caribbean, we do not have much opportunity to see high-level basketball. So the young players are always achieving to go to school, to go to college, to play in the NBA. But it's a dream if you cannot see where you have to go. So we got together and decided we're going to find a way to bring top college teams here so our athletes can see what they have to aspire to make it to the next level. This has been a magnificent decision on our part.
So you did it to help the basketball players in college so they could get to a next level of basketball.
Yes, this is definitely every young player in here, the under 17 team, the under 15 team, are looking at these guys and they know what they have to do to reach that level. So they have to work hard, and as they can see, these kids are working hard.
So how has the Cayman Islands Classic tournament evolved, and what are your goals for the future for the tournament?
Okay, now it's still evolving, and it's evolving rapidly. As you know, this year we are having women for the first time, so that in itself is an upliftment to the whole program. What we are expecting to see very soon is ESPN coming to Cayman to tape games and send it abroad.
ESPN's here. That's a big step.
If ESPN comes here, then Duke and all these top colleges, Arkansas, can come. So we are building, but hopefully very soon ESPN can come and we can do that.
So in this year's Cayman Islands Classic tournament, what players stand out and what teams stand out?
The team that stands out to me is Utah State. I love the aggression, the intensity. However, I'm really, really impressed with Anglin. They played very physical, even though they did not come in the first ball.
So I understand that your grandson is now playing in basketball in college. So where is he playing?
Okay.
And also, how is the season going?
Okay. Now, let's give you a little rundown on my grandson. He's the first Caymanian to play Division I basketball, right? He was drafted by Oklahoma State and is now playing for Texas State. Now, he went on as a unknown, and he's on the first five right now because he's consistent in his scoring. They lost a game today, but he had 9 points, 9 rebounds coming off the bench. So he's doing extremely well. Hopefully, we can bring that team here next year, because next year he'll be a senior, and we'd love to have him here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. Now, let me tell you something. I'm extremely proud of you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you again, Mr. JJ. I'm Phoenix Singh, and I'm here with Coach Collin, who's the event manager for the Cayman Islands Classic and the president of the Cayman Islands Basketball Association, and also another one of my basketball coaches. I just think famous horse?
Well, I don't know. The jury's still out on that, Phoenix, but we might have to find out one of these days very soon.
So, what is involved with your role as event manager at Cayman Islands Classic?
All right, well, that's a very good question. Well, you know, there's a lot that goes into managing an event. There's a lot of different areas. I mean, and in terms of operations and logistics, it's not just about what's happening here at the event itself, but there are a lot of things that happen behind the scenes. We're also talking about coordinating things with accommodations, working those out, those logistical things for the teams. They're talking about ensuring that the teams have a very smooth process coming into the island. So you have to work very closely with the Cayman Islands Customs and Border Control and the Cayman Islands Aviation Authority. So you got to work very closely with them to just make sure that the teams can have a smooth and quick process coming through. You have a team of folks that are also there to greet them. You have team liaisons that you also have to have on board that are like information resources for the teams. This really helps them to feel at home. It helps them to be able to navigate, you know, while they're here on the island, make recommendations, and so just for the process of bringing them in, then you're coordinating with the bus companies because everything is about timing. You can't bring buses late. If you say you're going to do something at a certain time, it has to be done at that time. So, you know, if a team has practice, for example, at a certain time, depending on where the location is, the bus has to be there at a certain, for example, 30 minutes before they're scheduled to leave, because everything has to look very professional, because you want these teams to be pleased with the organization of the event, because based on their experience, they're going to go back and they're going to talk to all of their teammates, all of their fellow coaches from other teams. They're going to say, we had a great time in the Cayman Islands. That's going to make it easier for you to be able to get teams to continue to come to the islands, right? And so the more that you have that positive feedback, the better it becomes. And so those are some areas. Then you're looking at the venue itself. You got to make sure you have insurance for the event. You got to make sure that it complies with the regulations of the NCAA. You have to have officials that are qualified for it, setting up photography. You got to deal with media that's coming in. So you have to have a very big team and a good team that will handle all of these different areas. And of course, coordinating your volunteers. There's lots of different roles that take place. Having credentials set up that control the access, having security and a security plan. So there's a lot that goes on, right?
That's a lot of stuff that's involved.
Yes.
So, why do you think events like the Cayman Islands Classic is important to the Cayman Islands?
That's a very good question. So events like these, as you know, we just finally opened to back up our borders, right? And so tourism is one of the pillars of our economy. And so events like these are excellent for the sport tourism product because sports tourism has always been a growing niche, right? It's one of the fastest growing categories, so to speak, when it comes to tourism and what it does for an economy. There are so many different sectors and businesses that benefit from events like this because, of course, when these teams and their fans travel here, we're talking about the hotels being able to make significant income. We're talking about the condominiums. You got people that are doing Airbnb. So this is all revenue that helps them provide for their families. You have the taxi drivers, you have the bus drivers that also benefit from that. You have the restaurants, they're going to go out and eat. You have all the people in the water sports industry, so they want to swim with the stingrays, they want to ride wave runners, they want to do all of these things. They want to go and tour the island. So it's very, very significant. As a matter of fact, this event, even though it's only 1 week long, it brings in millions of dollars into the economy.
So you said it's important because it helps a lot of the sports grow in the island, and also that it increases tourism.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's an excellent point. I'm sorry I didn't mention that. It's great for the actual sport itself. So in this particular one, it's basketball. And so that really helps for the sport to grow. It generates more and more interest. And then we have a lot of athletes too who say one day, I want to become, you know, a college athlete. What does that take? So we've had certain things like we've had some teams work with us to do clinics. And so our athletes have gotten to actually get trained by some of these athletes themselves. They've gotten to sit down and do question and answer sessions where the athletes are telling them about their journey. What does it really take to get there, the ups and downs. And so that makes an incredible difference, being able to hear it directly from people who are actually doing it right now. You know, so it really is very inspiring for the sport itself and the athletes that are involved in it.
So what are your goals for the future as president of C.I.B.A?
Well, as president of C.I.B.A, I mean, we definitely want to start hosting a lot of events here for competitions with our national athletes. That's definitely in the pipeline. And as well as certain FIBA sanctioned tournaments as well. So, for example, I'm heading over to Puerto Rico next week where they have the AmeriCup 3x3 competition. So I want to really see how that's run, how that's organized, so that we could look at actually hosting that as well. So in terms of from a basketball association side, we want to increase our international presence both locally and competing overseas. Next week, not only are national men and women's teams going away to compete, but also our under-17 boys, they're traveling to Texas. They're going to take part in something called the Bulldog Classic. So from that standpoint, those are local basketball objectives. And I mean, in terms of event management and what I do on the sports management side, we definitely want to have more and more events like this in multiple sports to continue to showcase Cayman for what it is as a top tourism destination and sports tourism destination.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Felix. A pleasure.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Phoenix Zone and All Things Cayman. Congratulations to Utah State. If you enjoyed this episode of the Phoenix Zone and All Things Cayman, please share, like, and subscribe.